The RSA Conference educates and connects security professionals across the globe with emerging trends and new best practices. JustAskGemalto brings those insights and their impact closer to you.
On any website you go to online, keep in mind that their objectives are not going to be the same as your objectives. When you go to buy brand new shoes on that great website, their goal when they're getting your data is, number one, to get your credit card information to make the purchase. But number two, they want to build a marketing database that's going to include everything about you so they can put targeted marketing out to you and maybe even sell your information to other organizations that also want to market to you. So as you remember that they have a different objective than you can answer those questions more appropriately. So if they're asking you for your credit card and your name, yeah, you have to give them that. But look for those optional fields. Do you have to tell them what your household income is? Do you have to tell them, what your hobbies are? How many people live in your house? These things that are not specific to the transaction. If they don't make them required to do the transaction, leave them blank. And then beyond that, I don't feel like you don't have an obligation to give them truthful answers if they're asking these questions either. Put out there what you want to put there and make sure you're the one in charge of where your information goes.
I think it in the same way as when you buy an appliance, they will ask you to fill out a lot of information, serial number, your address, but there's a lot of things on there that are insignificant to that dishwasher. They don't need to know your gender. They don't need to know, what you like, how many things you've bought in the past, month. They don't need to know, do you have a checking account? And so when you go to a website, they should ask you for the bare bones amount of information, name, address, things that are only relevant, to that order. If they start asking personal information, stop right there, because there's absolutely no need to share anything more than the bare bones.
One of the things that I do sometimes is I will actually use a browser that, in a private browsing mode where nothing is being stored on my machine, cookies aren't coming across, they're not able to track me once I leave the site if I empty all that stuff. The tracking mechanisms tend to be focused on your IP address and cookies and things, artifacts that are left from the website. So regularly clearing out your cookies. The IP address you may not be able to do much about, but that type of kind of clearing out that process of clearing out the history and the cookies can help you with some of that prevention where stuff's not going off without your knowledge.
There's really two approaches. One is you can pretty much stay away from all social media, stay away from shopping online. Don't go out into the digital world, which is really impractical. Or you can make sure that you really concentrate on knowing where you're putting your information, knowing who's getting that information. Take the time to read those privacy statements. Take the time to understand who their business partners are, where that information might be going. And if you're going to go out there into the digital world, make sure you go all the way out there. All the popular social networking sites, make sure you establish your presence on there so somebody else doesn't get the chance to take your name and start an identity and go ahead and abuse it.